Om Ganesha Gananam Tva Ganpatigam Havamai Kavim Kavinam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspadaan Stumvan Modavis Siddhasadanam Om Mahaganapataye Namaha Ganeshaya Namastubhyam Nirambai Ekadantini Swanandavasini Tubhyam Brahmanaspataye Namaha. So very good morning, good Monday morning to everybody. We shall continue with what we left off on Saturday. We were discussing about how Mudgalacharya. Now here, let us get back the sequence of how the dialogues are going on. Sutta is talking to Shaunaka and other rishis and munis in Dandakaranya. And Mudgalacharya is narrating to Daksha Prajapati about, first he narrated the conversation between Shiva and Parvati. Now he's proceeding with that. After concluding that, goes on to narrate his own experience. So he speaks about all his tapasya, whatever he did, and how Durvasa Rishi came and tested him so many times. Now he wants to know further. He wants to know more, have greater knowledge, more in-depth knowledge in the Vedas, Upanishads, and others. So he approaches Angiras. You see, Angiras. Angiras Muni has his ashram where it is very serene, very peaceful. All the animals are also very living in very comfortably with each other. Means there is no quarrels, no going against each other. The birds are chirping, the rivers are flowing, even the crocodiles and the swan is swimming in the same river. So it's such a beautiful place. Finally, after going through this whole ashram, he arrives at the place where the Muni is residing. Muni is Kutia. And he does pranam to the Rishi and he says, Rishi, I'm Mudgala, I've come to you to learn more about, to gain more knowledge, how to, I've got so many questions in my mind. I want answers to all of them. So Rishi Angiras welcomes him. He says, yes, it is his own son. Of course, he came in the form of light and then he was nurtured into a human being. Then he says, yes, you have done a lot of penance. I am aware of that. It's quite obvious that that you have done a lot of, means you started this Mudgal Puran. You started your own perception of the Ganesh Yoga or the Purna Yoga. Now, what more doubts do you have? What more can I share with you that you have? Please be seated. So he sat for the first few days. He didn't ask anything. He just sat in front of the rishis. There were other students, others along with the other students. He said, I have just come now. I'm surrendering to you. I will learn all that is possible from you. So he sits along with the students. For first 2-3 days, he didn't ask anything. He was just listening to to whatever Angiras Muni was telling about the Vedantas, Upanishads, whatever that he was teaching the other students. Finally, he asked, the Angiras Muni himself asked, what question do you have? Do you have any questions to ask? So Mudgalacharya says, the Vedas have mentioned that Brahma has many characteristics. Now, which characteristic should be considered as a benchmark for considering? There are so many gods are there. What is a benchmark for considering a god as a Brahma? Angira said, I shall explain what has been mentioned in the Vedantas. He also, see, this is our Rishi Parampara. He doesn't say, well, I will tell you what I have understood. I will tell you what has been mentioned in the Vedantas and the Upanishads about the absolute Brahma. They have described the various Brahmas and we have to go step by step. So first Brahma is Anna Brahma. First Brahma is Anna Brahma, that is a food sheath. That Brahma which represents the food or which has been born out of food. So This is the first Brahma, which is the Annamaya Kosha. That is in our body. When the child is in the womb of the mother, the food that the mother eats becomes the first thing that the jiva gets. The first material thing, or you can say, which the jiva receives, the soul receives in the womb. So that forms a sheath around it. It builds itself from the food that is received from the mother. Whatever the mother eats, that becomes a food. That becomes a covering for this jiva. That is the source, or the thing, the material with which the body is formed. So that is the first sheath, Annamaya Kosha. So Anna Brahma is the first Brahma. Then slowly the muscles are formed out of that food that is eaten, that the mother eats, and the jiva receives through the tube into the womb. Then the limbs are formed around that. Then this Anna becomes the nourishment. Slowly the fetus develops a body, the skeleton is developed, and a structure gets formed in the womb. This is the Annamaya Kosha. Then the mother breathes. That breath of the mother reaches the child in the womb, and that becomes a prana, pranamaya kosha. That is the prana vayu which the mother breathes through her nostril, reaches the child in the womb, and that gives the heartbeat, the pulses to keep the jiva alive inside the womb. So that breath is the pranamaya kosha. That is a second Brahma. So if that the mother fails to breathe, the child will not get the vayu, prana, and then it will die. So that prana becomes the life force on which the jiva lives, and then the cells are formed with this prana vayu. And the prana vayu, as we saw, it also contributes the functioning of the various other organs in the body. So this becomes a pranamaya kosha. Then the third one is Vijnanamaya Kosha. Kosha means a layer or a covering, you can say, a sheath. So Vijnanamaya Kosha is the third one. See, the various sensations which the mother feels, heat, cold, then all the senses which the mother feels in the body is also felt by the child in the womb. That becomes a Vijnanamaya Kosha of the child. Then comes the Manomaya Kosha. Numerous sensations like some things which are good, which are bad, favorable, unfavorable. That which is, so the Jiva is able to, whatever it thinks. Now, even after the birth of the child, when the child starts thinking, this is desirable, this is not desirable, this is favorable, this is not favorable, this is hot, this is cold, this is, so that this way it accepts certain things, desires for certain things it rejects. Like, for example, if something sweet is given, it tastes good, but something bitter, it rejects. So when something is hot, it rejects. When it is cool and pleasant, it accepts. So this becomes the mind, Manomaya Kosha. So this forms the mind, that portion which is able to think good, bad, what is necessary, what is not necessary, likes, dislikes, this perception, this becomes the mind, Manomaya Kosha of the child. This Manomaya Kosha starts developing as the child is born and then goes to school, meets the teachers. The teachers give more inputs, and then accordingly, certain perceptions are formed. The child forms opinions, what is to be learned, and what all we should learn. In the initially, it keeps on learning everything. Then the fifth kosha, the fifth sheath is the Anandamaya kosha. That is, this is the state where the mind experiences happiness, bliss. So Anandamaya kosha, it is generally, it's very fleeting. When we are awake, it is fleeting. We experience more of sorrow, less of happiness. But in deep sleep state, when we are in deep sleep state, when there is no dreams also, in that deep sleep state, there's total bliss. That is why even the child, when it is sleeping, You can find it smiling, laughing, because it is in total bliss. It is connected to the heavens, to the angels outside. So these are the 5 differentiate: Annamaya Kosha, Pranam, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, and Anandamaya Kosha. So here, Angiras Muni says, Annamaya Kosha, because it gives us the very body. We are the food. As we exist, this is the food that we have eaten over all these years. So this is the Anna Brahma. This is the first Anna Brahma. Just as when we eat the food also, when we pray, we say Brahmarpanam Brahmavi, Brahmajno Brahmanahutam, Brahmaivatena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. So whatever food that we eat is Brahma. It is going into Brahma. The Agni is Brahma. And Brahma is consuming Brahma for the purpose of fulfillment of what is the purpose of Brahma. What is the goals of Brahma? So that is Annamaya Kosha. Then Prana is also Brahma. Without Prana, we cannot exist. We cannot simply live. So Prana Brahma is there. Similarly, Mana Brahma. Manomaya Brahma is a mind, mental Brahma. Without the mind, we will not know what we are supposed to do. What is right, what is wrong. It will be just going haywire, just living and existing like the animals. Just eat, drink food, sleep, and die also. But with this Manomaya Kosha, Mana Brahma Manomaya Brahma gives us a purpose for living. It gives an existence. Then Vijnanamaya Kosha, there is a Vijnana Brahma, that is the wisdom, that is the knowledge, intelligence that is gathered over a period of time through going through the various experiences in this world. Then Anandamaya Kosha, or the bliss sheath. That is, a bliss is felt while living in the awakened state when we feel a balance. When we are neither agitated nor we are regretting anything, or nor are we very emotional or sentimental. We are in a balanced state, then we experience the Ananda Brahma. So this way there are so many Brahmas. This Angiras Muni is answering the question of Mudgalacharya, which is a benchmark for a Brahma. Then he says there are more Brahmas. Chaitanya Brahma, consciousness. Consciousness which forms the basis, the substratum for existence of all these Brahmas. That consciousness is also Brahma. And the greater causal, that consciousness is a purpose why we are existing. Without consciousness, we would be dead. Whatever the other Brahmas are there, that's of no use. When this Chaitanya Brahma at the collective level, at the macrocosmic level, is the causal Brahma. That is the Mahakarana Brahma, or it is also known as Bindu Brahma. Bindu Brahma is the origin, the source. That is also in the form of Chid, that is mind, consciousness, matter, and who's known through by yogis by Soham, by the practice of Soham. Soham. So we inhale and exhale Soham. They practice this pranayam to get connected to that causal Brahma. So this Brahma, which we as a human being, made up of these Panchakoshas, we connect to that Brahma, Soham Brahma, and that leads us to Bodha Brahma. Bodha Brahma is understanding that beingness of Brahma, what that Brahma feels like. When we go to that, when we get connected to this cosmic consciousness outside, our understanding gets elevated. As I told you earlier, some other time, we may think of us as an individual, me as one person sitting in the counter, or just dealing as a person on the counter in the shop, or he may be thinking that this is me. But when he elevates himself to the owner, when he puts himself, when he becomes the owner of the shop, then he feels this whole thing is mine. Means then he will have to look into purchases, sales, and then the different branches across the country. So his level of consciousness is elevated. So similarly, when we lift and lift and lift our consciousness to that level of Brahma, Bodha Brahma, so you can look at it globally. So you will be looking at this whole world in a different way, totally. Then beyond that comes the Sankhya Brahma. So sorry, that Bodha Brahma, or that itself is Sankhya Brahma, which is addressed as the atomic, means in this microcosmic form, it is atom, Sankhya Brahma. Then there is beyond that is a Videha Brahma. Videha Brahma is Videha, with beyond the body. So that is incorporeal state. That is a Turiya Avastha. Turiya Avastha, or the unmanifest form. So that is the incorporeal Brahma or Videha Brahma. This can be understood through the union of karma and jnana. By that, by the union of that sanyoga of karma jnana, we attain a state of samadhi. In that state of samadhi, we can know that Brahma. It comes as a matter of knowing. It cannot be explained in words, but it's a matter of knowing. Then there is another Brahma, which is Samabra. Now see, these are all at the microcosmic level we saw. Then we have also seen the 5 other types of Brahma: Asat Brahma, Sat Brahma, Samabrahma. So Asat Brahma is what? Asat Brahma is all this. What we see, this physical body, all this Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, all that comes under Asat Brahma, because that's all the manifest, and it is formed by Shakti. That is gunas, the 3 gunas. Then the soul is a Sat Brahma, which is Surya. Surya Brahma is a Sat Brahma, and Sama Brahma is the union of this Sat and Asat, that is Sama Brahma, which is Vishnu. Vishnu is Sama Brahma. He is also called Ananda Brahma because he is in the bliss state. Then is a Neti Brahma, Sahaja Brahma. Sahaja Brahma is Shiva. Shiva or Shankara, that is, he is detached. He is a part of this manifest form of Brahma, but he is Neti, not this, not the Sat, Asat, Sama and Shakti. So he is beyond that, and he is called Shiva Brahma or Sahaja Brahma. Sahaja is a avastha, that is a state. He is in a detached state. He is not infatuated by any of these things. So he is Shiva Brahma. Beyond all this is the Swananda Brahma. Swananda Brahma is who is in the Swa Ananda, whose nature itself is Ananta Ananda. Ananta means endless, eternal Brahma. This is formed by the Sanyoga of all the other Brahmas. So these are all the different Brahmas that Angiras Muni is narrating to Mudgalacharya. He's saying, see, this many Brahmas are there. And all of these Brahmas, you have to experience step by step. That is why, if you can remember, Mudgal, how he was a manifestation of Ganesha's boon was to this Angiras Muni and his wife, Shruti Devi. He came in the form of a ball of light. That ball of light was the child. It's just like that. And he was preserved in a bamboo, and so from that light, Anna Brahma, Prana Brahma, Manomaya Brahma, Vijnan. So step by step, he has reached this state of understanding the various Brahmas. So this is how we evolve. And so he says that you have to go through all these stages in order to understand. And this is the yogic sadhana. Yoga sadhana is not only the Ashtanga sadhana. We celebrated the yoga day. Everybody got a certificate. Everybody was putting their certificates on the social media. हमको भी एक certificate मिला, खत्म. That is ठीक है, that is for the yoga day, for the celebration point of view, or for a token point of view. But actually, yoga sadhana itself is Ashtanga yoga sadhana. Yam, niyam, pranayam, asana, pranayam, dhyan, dharana. When you reach the state of samadhi, then you have to go through all these Brahmas. All these Brahmas are from the stage of Samadhi. So there is Samprajnat Samadhi, Asamprajnat Samadhi. We'll be going through all those stages in Ganesh Gita in the 9th chapter, 9th Khand. Right now, he's just introducing the different Brahmas. So he says you have to go through all these Brahmas, and the yogis experience all these state of Brahmas. First, they go into deep meditation, dhyan, dharana, that is holding on to that contemplation in the single pointedness focus of the mind. And then in that single pointed focus, they contemplate on each of these Brahmas. And then they are able to experience, those Brahmas. Not merely by just book reading. You can get information. That is, you'll get the knowledge. But only when you experience it, that knowledge becomes your own. Then only you embody that knowledge. So this is the way you have to go. And he says that the one who and all these people, these yogis are all ganas. They are all ganas in the sense who expands himself from his individuality to the totality. So all those, that is why all this in the collective form is known as, and the Lord is Ganesha. The ganas are the totality of this collective of all this. And a yogi who has attains the undifferentiated Parabrahma, he becomes yoga itself, the yogic form, the Purna Yoga. He attains Yoga Shanti, Purna Yoga Shanti, and he will experience the beingness of Brahma. Okay, so these are the various stages that you must go through. And he says, if you desire union with the Brahma, that is Brahma Bhuyatva, that is union with the Brahma, you must worship him. Finally, if you want to become Brahma, you have to worship. That is bhakti. You have to do bhakti, you must worship. And then in that bhakti, you will be so totally united with him. Then after death, you will merge with him. After death, you will merge with the Swananda Brahma. Then Brahma decides whether you should be born or not. You don't have to decide. You are out of the cycle of birth and death. So this is the dialogue between Angiras Muni and Mudgalacharya. This is the chapter 19 of the Mudgal Puran. We shall continue with this conversation tomorrow, taking the Mudgal Puran forward. So I hope after a good weekend, a battlefield of battle weekend, the world in a turmoil, but let us try to meditate in spite of all that agitations, centering ourselves within ourselves. See that your feet are firmly placed on the floor. Feel the sensation of Mother Earth beneath your feet. Hands on your laps with the palms facing upward. Spine erect. Bring all your attention to yourself. Wherever your thoughts may be wandering around, thinking of the week ahead or the week that has gone by, let that all go. Leave it aside for some time and bring all your attention to your breathing. Take nice, deep breath. See the air go all the way up to your abdomen. And exhale. Bring your attention to your breathing. It may be a little bit of a struggle in the beginning. Focus on the breath. Feel the air in your nostril. Feel it just expand and exhale. Observe the breath as it naturally comes in and goes out. Don't strain yourself. Don't force the breath. Merely observe it as it as air comes in naturally. Become conscious of it. Do not increase the speed. Be totally with your breath. Let the breath becomes naturally rhythmic. In its natural rhythm. You don't have to count. Just observe with your full attention on the breath. Don't judge with your mind. Engage the whole mind in this observation. Just the breath coming in, going into the lungs. The chest expands. The diaphragm is pushed downwards. The stomach comes out. When the stomach goes in, the diaphragm is pushed upwards as the lungs throw out the air which you exhale through your nose. Just watch this whole process as it happens naturally. If any thought comes, come back to the breath. Now, in this state where your mind is quiet, it's just observing this body seated there and breathing, just pulsating with the breath. In this stillness, I will give you some thoughts. I will introduce some thoughts. I would like you to contemplate on that thought, just with reference to your own self. This is with relation to your own behavioral pattern. These are some patterns of behavior which we normally engage in. I would like you to dwell on it and see how it relates to you. First one, I have to appear rich, strong, and intelligent. Otherwise, I will not have the respect and admiration of the people around me. I have to be strong, intelligent, or rich so that I can gain the respect and admiration of the people around me. How much of this is true for you? Just think on that. Do I feel that way? When all do I feel? How often do I feel that way? Since when I have been feeling that way? I have to appear rich. I have to appear strong. I have to appear intelligent. I have to appear to know everything. Then only people will accept me. Have I felt this before? When did I feel that? All the time? All the time I want to appear good, appear intelligent, very wise, seem to appear to know everything, want to be able to afford everything as the neighbors or as the friends. Can I really afford it? Why do I have to appear to know everything? Is it shame? What will others think about me if I don't have a particular thing? What if I'm sick? What I'm not strong enough? Do I admit my weakness? Do I want to be hale and hearty all the time? Do I want to appear to be hale and hearty all the time? How much of it is true? How many times I put on a show? How truthful am I to myself? Why do I put on appearances that are deceptive? Do I want to deceive someone by putting on those appearances? After that, will I be able to face the same person the same way? Can I face myself the same way? Is it justified? Is that being honest with myself? What if the truth is known? Inquire on these lines in yourself. Think of the various situations. Just think two, three situations, not necessarily everything. When you have felt miserable, having behaved in a way which is quite unlike you. What made us do that? What made me do that? Was it some inadequacy? Was it something which I feel inadequate about? Something I wish I had, but we don't have. Is that the solution? Will I be able to do it every time? Will I want to do it every time? How do I come out of this somewhat helpless habit, somewhat an need to behave that way or need to put up that front? What if I don't? What is at stake? Is it worth it? Is it worth it for the moment? Or 2 years hence, 3 years hence, 5 years hence? What can I do to put an end to it? Do I want to put an end to it? Is it comfortable? Why do I do it? What do I gain from it? Face that situation, that habit, that behavior squarely right into its face and question yourself unabashedly. No compromise, as if you were scolding your child. Why did you tell that lie? Don't you ask your children? Question that behavior that has been going endlessly over the years, that has been repeating over and over again with different people, different situations. And how it has gathered so much of energy and strength, so much so that now you're not ashamed of it. So much so that it has become second nature and you don't bat an eyelid. So much so that the consequences hold no more pain for you. What if the whole thing is flashes before your mind on your deathbed, questioning whether it was right or wrong? Would you have dealt with differently when you had the time for it? How would you have done it differently? How could you have done differently? Go through the choice, all the choices that you would have had. Why did you choose the one you chose? Do not try to justify. Many times we argue ourselves out of the problem. We don't confront the issue as it is. Take another instance where you realized that you had made a mistake and chose differently. And what was the consequence? Was it more acceptable? Was it more palatable? Did the result give you a better feeling? Take a third instance when you felt at an utter loss. helpless that you couldn't do anything different. Perhaps that was destined to be. Tear open your entire life, instances, incidents, rummage through all the nooks and corners. And do some deep cleansing. Those are all energy blockages that is reflected in your body as physical ailments, disorders, and sometimes even cancer. Do not allow these energies to settle in your body and then transform into such fatal illness. Cleanse it at the bud, nip it at the bud. That's all this energy work is about. For that, this contemplation is a must, is a necessary first step. Appearances are deceptive. Many times they are projections of the mind. Projections of how it should have been instead of what it is. See reality as it is. And let us not hide behind a false pretense. Of all is well, when none of it is. Many times we pretend because if I'm not respected or admired, then I feel unimportant and worthless. We pretend to be strong, intelligent, rich, or put on a good show because if we don't have that admiration or respect from the people, the so-called admiration or respect, which itself may be a put on, which may itself be a put on by others, Does that make you feel worthless or unimportant? Is importance more important or the feeling of importance more important? Can you see the difference? We put on an appearance of feeling important. And as long as we are made to feel important, we feel that all is well. That's how appearance becomes more important than what it actually is. The show must go on. The show will go on, but at what cost? Who is paying the cost? When it comes to our own individual finance, we feel the pinch. Let us be in touch with reality as it is every moment of the day. Let us not hoodwink ourselves into believing something which is not. Will come back with a cost. However uncomfortable this questioning may be, we need to confront ourselves by ourselves, within ourselves, in the silence of our mind, if we are to become authentic, if we want to be respected for our authenticity, confront yourself before others confront you. So with these thoughts, it must have created some churning within you from the depths of memory right into your consciousness, into the surface of your mind, waiting to battle it out. Stay with these thoughts the whole day and introspect, confront it squarely in the face. Throw out what is not necessary. Make the necessary changes where it is needed. Transform yourself from within. Feel the energy on your palms. Normally, when such unpleasant energies are confronted, you will feel it warm on your palms. Allow it to go, release it. Wriggle your fingers on your palms and on your toes, on your feet. Rub your hands together. Cup your palms and place it on your eyes. Rub your face. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Any questions? सोचना पड़ेगा. So we'll meet tomorrow. Tomorrow
Said
morning.
something about
Yes.
what the people will think of me.
Yeah.
But after a certain period of time,
Huh.
I just don't care what people think.
Don't care. Yes. So you become so thick-skinned, na? Thick skin हम हो जाते हैं.
No. See,
हाँ.
this is my way of thinking. If they don't agree, go to hell. Right?
Yeah. Fine. As long as you know that you have been in truth, not put on a show.
Yeah, I
As
know
long
what I
as
have
you
been
know that, as long as with your conscience, you are clear कि
Clear,
मैंने
yeah.
सही किया है.
Right.
Then it doesn't matter at all what they think.
They put on a show.
They put on a show. Then we have to be cautious.
Cautious, right?
हमको cautious रहना है, कितना उनको believe करना है, कितना
Yeah.
दूर रहना. Maintain your distance. Don't get caught in this web of
Web.
falsehood, whether it is our creation or others' creation. Even अगर हम उसके हाँ में हाँ मिलाते जाएंगे ना, तो हम हमारे लिए प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करेंगे. Why? Because then he will think that you will accept anything what he says. फिर he takes us for granted.
Another thing is, what he's saying, you listen. Say yes and forget it.
But what he thinks is, he thinks that you have accepted what he says.
Let him think.
If you don't object,
If I object, he'll argue.
he will argue. Okay.
I don't want an argument.
ठीक है, you don't want the argument, but then next time when you face the same thing, whether you will still continue to accept. The
No, if
second time you should not accept. The first time, if you hear something wrong, which you feel that he's putting on a show or he's saying something wrong, then you might just ignore or just move away from there, go your way. But the second time when he repeats it, if you don't object, that means it will become a habit. It will become a habit with you also to keep on accepting all the wrong. That is how we become underdogs. जो underdogs जो होते हैं ना.
Just a minute. I have a friend.
Yes.
Talks on politics.
Okay.
Anti-Modi. Now, I think the story I have heard from you only, that the grass is blue. the donkey says
Hmm.
to the tiger that the grass is blue.
Yes.
Tiger argues, no, it is
Hmm.
green. They go to the lion. Lion tells, yes, the grass is blue.
Hmm.
And he says, ask the donkey to go. Donkey is very happy, he goes.
Hmm.
Then the tiger says, how did you
Hmm.
say that? He said,
Hmm.
why do you argue with the donkey?
Hmm.
Let him,
Yes,
let him
but
do
what
what he wants.
happens? Provided that donkey remains a donkey, but when
He
that
is a
donkey starts
donkey.
thinking he's a lion, when that donkey, he says the grass is green, and when that donkey starts behaving like a lion and assuming that he is a lion, then it becomes a problem. And that he must not allow. As long as the donkey is the donkey, fine. You say the grass is green or blue, it doesn't make any difference.
So what happens now?
Huh.
Whenever he puts a post against anti-Modi, I say,
Hmm.
yes, you are right.
No, I don't.
Listen, I
Hmm.
only say that only three words. You are right.
Hmm.
That means let the donkey understand that he is right.
Hmm.
I know I am right. I
No,
have
but
my conviction.
see what happens when you approve it, when you say you're right, he doesn't think that you are saying it sarcastically because उसको वो सोच ही नहीं है.
That story he only has told me.
But
That donkey story he only has told me.
no, but see, some people are there, they like if we say you're right, they really think it is right. They don't realize that we are
No,
wanting
but
to say
now
it
he
is
stopped
wrong.
posting.
See, this is where it goes wrong. अगर हम ना के लिए हाँ बोलते हैं, अभी क्या होता है? See, when we want to say na, we say yes. Then the person who thinks that this one will say yes, then yes man हो जाता है.
If I say no, he will put another post. Same thing.
Fine, then you delete it. You delete it or you unfollow it or do anything else, but don't accept what is wrong.
No, he's a very good friend of mine.
Okay.
Okay. I don't
But
know
some
who
friends
heard him
become a
message.
problem. But some friends,
Yeah,
अभी
yeah.
ये जो friend बन गया अब enemy ना.
Nee, I don't want enmity with him.
Okay.
He is a very good.
Then see, you don't want enmity. See, if you are a true friend, you will correct where he is wrong. If you don't correct, then you're not his friend. You are an enemy. You are his enemy. That is not friendship. You should know, understand a friendship. Friendship means you be open and truthful to each other, and that is the understanding that you have between each other. फिर वहां रेड लाइन क्रॉस कर लिया ना आपने.
No,
वो
that
सब
man,
नहीं है. No, see, just to ये appearance, ये जो हम we want to maintain that peace, इसके लिए हम बोलते नहीं है.
exactly.
फिर वो peace बाद में it doesn't remain peace. It becomes the hurt that is created is deeper than what would have happened. What the confrontation अगर हम सीधा बोल देते ना, उस समय जो settle हो जाता था, that would have been very
It will
little.
not settle. It will go on and on. He will go
It
on.
will not go on. It will not go on.
It was going on. That's why I started this method. You're right. He's happy. Go.
नहीं,
I'm
but
happy.
as long as it is harmless. अगर देखो आप बोलने से,
He is
या
making a
राइट
statement.
बोलने से अगर उसका वो वही स्टेज पर रहता, if he is not cause, if it doesn't create harm beyond that level where you say, if it is that level, then it is okay. But if by saying you're right, he gets more pride, more
No,
उसका
that is not
ताकत
the case.
बढ़ता है, वो एक उसका superiority complex feel होता है,
That is not
then
the
it
case.
becomes a problem.
Now he has stopped posting those things.
See, then वो खुद ही stop
Because,
करेगा when he does
okay,
them.
whatever I say, he says it is right. What is the point in talking to him? He has stopped
Yes, when he takes it that way, then he has realized that उसको मालूम है वो झूठ बोल रहा है. तो when you say you're right, then he realizes, yes, अरे मेरा झूठ को वो क्यों हाँ बोल रहा है? That means I'm really a fool to post that. तो उसको समझ में आ जाता है. But when it is taken as that it is like शेंगाचे झाडावर चढवणे, what is that?
चढ़ने के झाड़ पे.
कौन सा झाड़?
चने का
चने
झाड़.
के झाड़ पे चढ़ाने का ना. चने के झाड़ पर चढ़ाने का, वैसा ही है। When you उसको चढ़ाते चढ़ाते फिर चढ़ जाता है तो फिर प्रॉब्लम होता है।
He is from table tennis group. Morning 6 o'clock he will be there every day. Only he and me will be reaching 6 o'clock. Before 6, quarter to 6. And both of us will be playing at least 15 to 20 minutes. Then when somebody else comes, he will go. He's very
Well,
cordial, very loving, everything is there. He will hug me and all. Every time I go, he will hug me. But this thing he puts, the donkey story he put, no, I said, okay, I got a clue how to handle you. From that day onwards, I started that. You're right. He stopped posting now. Each person has to be handled according to his capacity.
Yes, yes. So you need to handle different people in different way, different situations in different ways. But only thing, we should not be powered by this falseness.
No, no,
That we must see.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
As far as I know what I'm doing, I'm just bothered what happens to it. उसको चढ़ने दो चढ़ने पे झाड़ पे ना. Sometimes he will fall.
Okay then. So we'll meet tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.